Is it on?
Is it on? Is she working?
Is she working for the dollar?
Is she working?
Is she working for her money?
We're doing ASMR.
We're doing ASMR.
ASMR.
Bitches. Hey there. Yeah, how are y'all doing?
Hey.
The reference.
You know what I just
If you
remembered?
get the reference, you get the reference.
What
Anyway,
is-
welcome back to the Gay Agenda podcast. I'm James.
I'm Kyle.
For those that are coming back to listen, thank you for joining. As you can tell, we are clearly still in the same attire as the last episode. But that's because we honestly were like, let's just do a whole nother one. It's going to be a fun topic, and we have the energy, so we're ready to do it.
I'm ready. This is going to be a good one. This is
It's
going to be a good episode.
a really good one.
Yes.
I think this is going
What
to
is the
be
episode?
dating in the gay community.
Yes.
Part 1, because there will
There
likely
probably
be
it's going to be multiple
parts.
But we're not trying to talk about it in like 1, 2, 3. Like we're going to like talk about other topics and be
Right.
like, let's recircle back to that topic.
Right. And if we feel like we said in the last one, if we feel like we missed something in this episode, we're going to circle back and talk about it all.
Unless like it's piping hot tea, then
Right.
like
And it's very pressing. If it's pressing and we need to talk about it, we're going to. But, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting episode. Just to kind of preface what we're going to try to cover, at least in this part of the dating community, in the gay community episode, is really just how hard it can be to find love. The difference between these different types of phases in the gay community of dating, where it's like you're talking, or you're in a situationship, or you are in a weirdly like shifted dynamic kind of relationship. Like there's all types of stuff. There's open relationships, poly relationships, there's all types of things.
All these.
So we just feel like there's some use in talking about it. Also, we want to talk about like what kind of, I guess, we've seen in the sense of dating, some of our experiences, and like some of them not the best ones, but also how it looked like when things were about to end or when things were going to end.
Kind of like the signs.
Yeah,
and
the tell-all, really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know, just don't be shocked when it happens, and you know, you're not the only one thinking this, and you know, we want to make it to light.
Yeah.
And if this happens in this big city of Tampa, this metro city, it'll happen anywhere else. So
1,000%. And also too, you know, looking for reasons to move on to the next big thing. So like, there's people that will truly look for things in the relationship to be like, okay, this is my getaway. Like I can say that this is the problem, and in reality there was never that big of a problem. They just really didn't like you like that.
Yeah.
And they just found some small
Communication
reason.
is key.
Yeah.
And that is one of the problems that we need to address, is that.
Yeah. And it's kind of crazy because I feel like now we've lived a good couple years in, like, obviously the because I mean, to be real, like once you turn, I think 20, like mentally I was like wanting to fuck around more, and I was wanting to you know, but also I did want a relationships.
Same when you're in college, it like really happens.
It
Because like
does.
you leave your parents' house and you're on a dorm or you got an apartment, and I don't know, it's just like more freedom, I guess you could say, more risk.
Yeah, I agree. It's like you have, and also too more opportunity to really try something different.
Yes. Which I think, like, we search for the fun, especially being gay. We search for, like, the risk. Like, we search for, like, the fun and all of it.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with hookup culture. We're not making fun of hookup culture
not at all.
Just a little preface. You know, I like to hook up sometimes. You know, there's nothing wrong with it, but, you know, sometimes I don't. And there's nothing wrong with that either. And, you know, we all go through phases. I definitely have had dry spells, you know, where I haven't, you know, done the deed in quite a while, and then you know I get filled or fill someone up like 2 or 3 times in a day. So
quite literally, in the sense, like a little chili donut, if you
like
will.
I am a Krispy Kreme donut.
A Krispy Kreme, but is it crispy? Anyway,
Oh my God, looking at me.
I know he's smiling.
He's in the video. Look. You see yourself? Look.
He said,
Look.
Who, where?
I said look, and he went that way.
Right, he said, I don't want to do that. Well, yeah. We have a lot to talk about in this episode. I think it's going to be quite literally a moment. We're going to be covering a lot. And also, I do want to talk about some of our crazy life experiences with dating. Some stories that could be dated back to years ago. Some that could be as recent as literally like a couple months ago. I'm like, is that a car or is that a boat?
It's a car.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm like under the bridge.
Okay. That was crazy.
It's really, I've never seen that.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, sorry, preface, if anyone's new, we talk about all things gay, and also I was just looking over there, and I thought that was a fucking boat. Because we're on a patio that
I feel
has
like
the
one time
river
we should
next
just
to it.
show
Oh,
the
we
viewers
will.
like the
We
backyard.
will. We will. We'll have to, I'll overlay it sometime, like video-wise.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so, without any further ado, we're going to jump into...
Let's get into it.
Our first part of the podcast.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. You clink way too fucking hard. You're
What do
gonna
you mean?
break the glass.
Ugh.
This is not meant for that. This is not meant for that. This is meant for a... That's exactly how a cheer sounds.
That's what I did.
No, you said... I almost broke it just thinking about that. Like,
You
crazy.
said the Hulk.
I feel like people listening will be like, no, yeah, James is right for that one. I'd be like, come on. Come on now. Come on now. Don't play the game.
We'll do a poll.
Yep. Today's episode, jumping straight in, is something that I feel like we've been avoiding talking about as a group of gay people. Like, just in general, dating. It is something that we talk about to each other like it's tea, but I don't think we really talk about it on, like, a very deep level. Like,
Right.
you may to your friend, your bestie, but not to, like, the community. No one's, like, talking about that, I think. But if they are, thank you, because fuck.
Appreciate it.
Like, sometimes I listen to, like, some girlies fucking podcast that talks about dating, and they generalize it to where I feel like I can understand and feel what they're saying, but no one's talking about it in that gay perspective as much as I think that they should.
Agreed.
And so I'm like, let's just do it. Like, let's talk about it all the time. Like, I think, not even just all the time, but...
Shouldn't just be for the straight.
It should just be easy to talk about. It shouldn't be something that should be like, oh, it's taboo to talk about that.
Exactly.
Or how could you think that and say that or whatever. It's like, no, like, I think we've all had
We're all thinking
crazy
it. We're all
thoughts.
saying it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why doesn't someone just say it?
I agree. And also, you know, it's a hard thing to find consistent and authentic
Dick.
love. Okay. Yep. That both. You can find it. It's out there, but it's hard. And I'm not gonna lie.
Fucking hard.
It's way too hard.
It's fucking hard.
But-
That shit is rock solid.
Rock.
Rock.
Rhymes with
What?
you dumb bitch. No, I'm gonna not this. Alright. For those who understood, you got the assignment. Anyway, it is hard to find that solid love. And it is very much like, it's a wanted feeling. I think every one of us has that, like, little spot in our heart that's, like, not being filled with just a hookup. I think it's like we definitely can sense that, like, there's purpose in wanting other things than just to fuck.
Right.
Like, you would want someone to witness your life with you, share some moments with you, grow with you, appreciate you. You do the same for them, and it's a beautiful thing, but it seems like it's such a damaged image nowadays to even think of, like, a healthy gay relationship.
Jumping off of that, when you do tell someone you have feelings for them, they freak out.
Yeah.
They kind of get, I guess you could say, like,
They get avoidant.
turned off and
Yeah.
avoidant. It's kind of, what is so wrong with telling someone, hey, you know, I'm starting to have feelings for you. What do you think about that?
Right.
And, you know, there is nothing wrong with the other person not feeling the same way, and that's totally okay. Then we can cut it off, you know, we'll just be friends or, you know, whatever. But a person freaking out and being like, ugh, like,
Yeah, and I think I've seen this tendency, like, so much. I've caught it out. Like, for those who don't know, I have a background in psychology. I do it all the time. So I'm like, I know, like, I see it all, I see the patterns, I'm like, this shit is like, it's a thematic fucking thing, like, you can really see it. And the amount of times that I've gotten close to someone first, they are avoidant right away, and then because I notice they're avoidant, I become detached, and then they want to come back, and then they become anxious.
Right.
And they become, oh, I need this person because now I gave them a bit, they wanted me fully, now I can't have them at all, so now I want them more. Or it's the opposite, which literally just fucking happened to me. I'll give an example, but basically the person I was avoidant with, because I didn't know his intentions, I didn't know what was going on. I met him at the bar, but we knew each other a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then I, was hesitant because I saw some red flags and I was keeping it in my head, but I was like, you know what, maybe I'll give this guy a chance. Long story short, gave him a chance, multiple chances at this point, and I keep thinking in my head if he wanted to, he would. But he became more avoidant with me the quicker and the way I opened up. It was like I was avoidant, he was anxious. Then when I became anxious and open to him, he became avoidant and didn't want anything with me. And that happens way too fucking much. It's almost like our initial reaction to it.
Right.
And that's like, I think one, it's deep-rooted. It could be many things. It could be the fact that we deep down feel like we're not able to be loved as hard or as much as we should be, or that we don't deserve it or something like that. Or it could be multiple reasons, but I also think too, like when you've dealt with heartbreak a lot in the gay community multiple times, you kind of become avoidant of wanting the love, but you still crave it. And you try to leap at it. Like at the club, you see a cute boy, you're like, oh, I need to make out with that boy. Or, I don't know. There's just many examples of that, but I just had that happen to me.
You did?
Yeah. But, there's also, too, like, a difference in, like, the different phases of dating, I would say. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Girl, you look out of it.
No, I'm listening. I'm, like, trying to think. By phases, do you mean like the talking phase?
Like the different, yes,
okay,
exactly.
Okay,
like talking phases. Like the phases is like talking, dating, being in a situationship, having a one-sided or a really weirdly hot and cold relationship.
Katy Perry.
Very much. And there's like different meanings to it. Like there's different thought processes behind each of it. Like
kinds of benefits.
Yes, that too.
Yes.
And it happens so often in the gay community where I think a
little too often.
Yeah, we get a good mix of that. Mm-hmm. Like you're not gonna just have like a friends with benefit. Maybe you have like a friend that you low key want there to be more with, and you in general like where am I going with that? I'm thinking of.
Oh, it's like.
Let me really backtrack. Let me backtrack.
I love that.
No.
It's so versatile.
So versatile. I'm gonna use that.
Can I use that?
Absolutely.
You should get a neon sign
that says
absolutely. Yes!
And then it's sponsored by Absolute Vodka.
Oh my god. They sponsor the gays.
They should. Eat way too hard. I'll go to hell and back telling you that. That's crazy. He's gonna break this shit on my computer and have to buy me a whole brand new actual 2024 computer. Alright. Anyway.
What year is your computer?
Girl, I don't know.
It's not touchscreen? Bro.
None of them are. You dumb bitch.
Broke.
Oh, it says the bitch that was called broke by the homeless man. Yeah, okay. Anyway, so back to the story at hand, because this bitch had a lot to say about me the other day in the press. Kyle, what's good? No, I'm kidding.
They twist up the words. James, congratulations.
The fact that you ran with it, I am screaming. If that doesn't say anything, girl. Anyway.
Wait, should we like...
Stupid bitch. Careful before you fucking crush my phone. Anyway. You snort like a fucking bottom pig. Pig bottom, really. I'm just like no.
I'm just like sick.
Anyway, back to the matter at hand. There's a huge difference in talking and dating. I swear to God.
1,000%, yes.
I've literally.
What is my catchphrase?
What is it?
You know what? I'll let you know.
What is it? Tell the fucking audience.
I'm gonna tell you, bitches.
Tell the audience.
The fucking difference is that a gay?
No.
¿Eres maricón?
No.
My catchphrase is, you probably heard me say this before.
Yeah?
Unless they ask you to be your boyfriend or vice versa, you are single.
Oh, yeah. Actually, he has said that.
You are single.
A lot. He said that a lot, yeah.
Don't get it twisted.
I get delusional a bit sometimes, where I start to be like, fuck, I think
there's love
about
goggles.
this. Yeah, it very much is.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, to be honest, talking, for me, I could talk to anybody. Talking does not tie me down to that person unless they show effort and they are caring and willing to take time. I don't know. Like, put some effort. It does not take that long to send a text message. And if if you're super busy, then I mean, okay. I just don't.
The problem is that like our generation and like even millennials, we're always on our phone.
Always. So how do you not see it?
Always on our phone. Just send me a text and be like,
Hey,
I'm so sorry. I'm really busy right now. I will call you later, or I'll text you before I want to call you. I would appreciate that so much. Than texting me hours later and being like, hey, I'm so sorry I was busy. Motherfucker, I know you were on your damn phone.
Yeah.
Like.
Yep. And it's kind of annoying because it's like, okay, I have a habit. So, okay, certain apps I do not go on all the time. I don't go on Snapchat all the time. I barely use Snapchat. I'll put a story up ever so often, and then maybe like 20 people will message me from the story, and I'll be like, okay, I see it. I know the notifications are there. I just, that's a lot of people to talk back to. That's like a minute, so like give me a second. I maybe need to take a few days. Right. Sometimes I'll take a few days, or sometimes I'll get back to everybody within a matter of like 10 minutes.
Right.
And I'm like, why did I wait days for that? But anyway.
Girl, if it's days, just open it and don't respond. Just move on.
No, because sometimes I'm like, oh wait, that was a great compliment. Or, oh, that's a good comment. Or, damn, I said that and I forgot.
Damn, I want to suck that.
That too. But that's the other thing. That's a whole nother episode. We have a whole episode we're dedicating to Snapchat. We will talk about all the shady shit.
Social media.
Yeah. But, you know, dating to me is like they are going to actually want to ask you on dates, take you on dates, show that they have a little bit of love for you, even if it's not that they're labeling it like that. They have to show affection. They need to show effort, you know, and
communication.
Communication
1,000% is key. That is the key word right there.
And if you don't have communication,
what do you
bitch,
have?
there is nothing. That is literally.
You have nothing.
That is literally.
You are garbage.
Oh.
Dirt.
Damn.
Sewer.
No. You literally do have to evaluate what they're giving for these dates for it to be considered dating. I think too, you know, I don't like to personally date around okay, this is what I mean. I don't want to try to go on multiple dates with multiple people in said 1 to 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I would prefer that I can, if I'm actually trying to fill this person out, I'm going to take a good 1 to 2 weeks to try them out in my mind. Like, how is this going to work? Are they showing effort?
Just going slow.
Going slow.
Like, what is the rush? What is the rush?
But
I've
tended to rush on the ones where I'm like, damn, maybe I think they're hotter than me. Or, oh, damn, maybe. And it's so dumb. But it's like, and then I think about it now, I'm like, comparison is the thief of all joy, so why am I doing that?
But sometimes you have to be like that. Because, like, that person will get bored.
They will. And that's very big. That happens all the time in the gay community. And that is
nothing on you.
It isn't. It's really them.
But that's also like a red flag because you need to be like, and so what if they get bored? On to the next.
Yeah, but then it feels like, okay, if I have to keep doing that, I'm getting numb to this feeling of like, okay, now I have to keep going like, all right, I guess that wasn't the one, blah, 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 boom. And then you do it so much, so often, that it becomes like, it makes you, it's like a reinforcement of, damn, the hope really isn't there.
Right.
But you try to keep the hope and the faith.
Okay.
Because we all do. I feel like I always try to be like, no, I'm gonna find my guy, it's just a matter of time. But honestly, sometimes, and we're being honest, because I'm 24, you're 26, turning 27.
4 days.
So, yeah, literally. This time of, like, the 20s, I think everyone's still figuring themselves out, what they like. It's the
years of your fucking life.
It is. You're going to feel lost.
It gets earlier. I hear it gets easier in your 30s.
I hear it gets better. Like, it's just, in general, all around better.
Ooh.
Dating's better, communication's better, job's better, life's better. Usually. But right now, I don't like it. I think it's like, I feel like, yeah, like we're over here like trying to understand what it is to be a actual adult. I mean, I've been feeling like that since I was younger, but I mean, in the sense like, it gets harder and harder. Things keep happening. You meet new people. There's all types. You experience so many things. And you have to balance a lot of things. You got to think about a lot of things. But also, no one's really willing to commit. And that's part of the issue.
Absolutely.
Is like, we can go on multiple dates, but after maybe the 5th date, maybe truly after we fuck, you just say, all right, I got what I wanted.
Thing right there.
Got what I wanted.
Thing, and some men will wait for it.
They will.
Some men will wait for it.
They will. And if they do, kudos, because to be honest, I like to build some type of passion behind the intention.
Now, saying that, if the chemistry is there, there is nothing wrong with fucking on the first date. But saying that again, some men will wait for it. And that's the men that are manipulative and like to lead you on with it. And that's when feelings start to get hurt. Because on the 4th, 5th date, feelings are starting to be developed. That's like a month into talking. Like,
possibly, yeah. Yeah.
You're not just going on a date on a Monday and then going on a date on a Wednesday. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. But you never know. If you do, love that for you, but also be careful. Because if you're going on multiple dates a week with one person you just met, there is some type of love bombing, love attachment shit going on.
Look at the flags. Look at the
We're going to have a whole nother episode about love bombing. All these different things to look for. All these things that happen.
Giving you definitions. Giving you examples. Bus. Another club.
Another club. Bus.
Plane.
Love bomb.
No sleep.
Breadcrumb. Sleep.
Breeding.
No, actually, no sleep. Oh. Now he's going off the rail. So.
Wait, wrong thing.
Wrong category. Category is
bad
dating.
Bitch, I'm the bar.
No, yeah, that's true.
Alien superstar. Whip, Beyonce.
Whip.
Promote us.
Paramount?
Beyonce?
Paramount?
Beyonce!
PR. What? I don't even know.
I said stuttered.
Pierre, and I was trying to say Paramount. Anyway.
PR.
Paramount sponsor us. We want to be in a movie. Anyway, yeah, so besides dating in general, like trying to go on dates, things like that, if they ask you out as in boyfriend, like, hey, you want to be my boyfriend? I still don't even really know if that's even happening anymore. No one really does that as much. I guess they do.
I personally speaking,
think in this time in our lives.
A rule for me, and this is just me, just a thing for me. I don't ask for someone to be my boyfriend. I want someone to ask me. And I know that it limits me, honestly. And I don't know, it's just like a thing that I do. I don't know how you are, but like, maybe I should like give it a go. Like,
give it a go.
Be like,
give it a go. What do we give it a go? Sorry, I choked on that. What the hell are you giving a go? Before you break the set.
Oh my god.
What are you giving a go?
I meant to say maybe I will ask someone to be my boyfriend. That's what I'm giving a go.
I would say yes. You should definitely do that.
I will.
It depends on the dynamic of the relationship. If the person is more masculine than me in said relation, I will expect them to do that. And I should not put an expectation. We're gonna have a whole other episode about expectations and standards. But anyway, I should not have that expectation, but I still kind of think that way. And then when it comes to me being the more masculine one, I'm gonna make the move. And I'll do it. I've done it before.
Are you like the more masculine one?
I speak up, girl, because you speaking like I can't even hear.
Well, are you like the more masculine one?
That was not speaking up. That was speaking down to me. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Don't you like getting talked down to?
Yeah, by masculine men.
That's abuse, honey.
That's abuse. Especially the ones that are like, you know, they like say. They say really like a lot of like things to you that may hurt your feelings, but you like it. No, I'm kidding.
I love being degraded.
No, not like that. That's crazy.
We know someone that likes that.
I will ask someone out if they are showing the feminine vibe that I like. I am more into type-wise for dating. Honestly, a good mix of masculine and feminine. Like, you gotta be right in the middle. Like, right in the middle.
I love a good masculine but feminine man.
Yeah.
Like, in touch with his feminine side. Not saying that if you're really feminine, there's nothing wrong with that at all, because we can get pretty feminine too.
Oh, yeah.
I love
Oh, yeah.
stepping into my feminine side.
Oh, yeah.
I love makeup. I
Love
getting
it.
my
Me
nails
too.
done. I love drag queens. I
Yeah.
love it all. But I love a man who shows his masculine side, like works out, you know, is like, you know, kind of straight out in public. I love it.
I like it too. I think it's very much...
What are you into more?
I'm into more... I mean, truly, right now, I'm into more masculine, but I do like a balance. Like, if you're way too masculine and you are almost like BL,
like,
that's hot, but I don't know if I can date you because I don't know if I can even, like, trust what's happening.
I don't even know if I can even kiss you in public.
Right, like, I don't even know.
I love to kiss my man in public. I love to show him that he's mine.
And not even just, like, because I've moved away from that idea of, like, a man can be a possession, because they are not. Like, they're their own person still in that relationship. You can do what you need to regardless, but if you're over here cheating and lying and not communicating and wanting to pretend this is that and it's not, and you're not really saying, oh, I want to do this, but I'm with you, like, there's a whole different thing. Like, you gotta talk about those things, you know what I mean? But
yeah, exactly.
I like a man that is a bit more on the masculine energy, just more like me, to be real. I love myself enough to be like, I know that I am right there in that middle, and that's exactly what I want. But it's hard to find, because when they are, it's almost this tendency, because like every gay knows this, gay man knows that verse bottom top, verse bottom, verse top, power bottom, power top, all these different terms, you know, there's everything you could describe about like that whole sexual experience, but you got to be compatible sexually and emotionally.
Yes.
You can't just be compatible sexually, because the emotions can be so bad.
Be there.
Yeah.
If the chemistry isn't there, and sex is like really important in a relationship, especially between men.
I think
we have such high testosterone that
you gotta release.
I like to fuck. Like, I love to fuck my man.
Do we not?
I love...
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I love that dirty deed. But, you know, there is nothing wrong with that. It's just so overset. Like, I don't know if it's America in general, but, like, it's just been so, like, over-dramatized that, like, you know, having sex is just, like, oh, it shouldn't be talked about. Like, no, baby girl, no. If the sexual chemistry is not there, I can't do it. Like, I'm sorry. And definitely a thing Then we changing positions. Definitely a thing is like body contact is like such a big thing for me.
Yeah.
Kissing is such a big, like, passionate, like, kissing, body contact, like, rubbing up against each other. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if that's not there, I'm sorry. If you just,
then,
because, you know, I like to bottom.
We know.
So, like, okay.
We know.
What do you think I am? But, if a
Power
top
bottom.
is just...
Pig bottom.
Okay, relax.
Bacon bottom.
Off the record. Bacon bottom. But, if a top is just like, oh, I just want to, like, shove it in you. I just love, like, fucking railing guy. Like, no, baby girl. I'm sorry. I don't like that.
Yeah.
You like body contact. I want some passion. Like...
Alright, we are back. We had a little technical difficulty, and we are back with that part of the podcast that we left off on, which we forgot about.
Yeah. What part was it?
I am so sorry, y'all, but we're gonna kind of just jump into the next little spigot of what we were talking about. There are other things like situationships that have been nothing but
trouble.
Yeah, trouble, but
I'll drink to
also
that.
an energy of where it is very one-sided. A situationship is not going to be something where you're like both like, oh yeah, like we're kind of like both fucking around, but like whatever. Like, no, girl, like if that's you guys are both fucking around and nobody is like committed, that's really nothing besides like you fucked around. Like, if it's a situationship, one person is typically overly infatuated with that person, while the other person is somewhat like
kind
detached.
of like the attention.
Yeah, like one or the other is getting the attention.
You're going to give them the attention, and that's what they're thriving on.
Yeah, they are.
But if they're not going to get it from you, they're definitely going to get it from somewhere else.
Oh, 1,000%. If you're not, yeah.
But they know they can rely on you for it. 1,000%. Now, needless to say, it's not like I haven't been in one where I have been both parts. I guess you would say.
Yeah, I've been in both sided, like where I am either one, the detached one in the situationship, or I am the overly infatuated one. It really is a matter of factors. Like, if the person, in my opinion, I perceive them to be more attractive than me, then I'm going to get overly infatuated because I don't want them to go. But that I mean, honestly, now that I've
good point, yeah.
But that I've recognized that now, in my life, I feel like I haven't been doing it, which is great because now I know. Like,
now you know, and now you can honestly keep out. What was that?
Someone just bust out a fucking chainmail.
Someone fallen.
Right.
Where's the dog?
It's okay.
I will take that dog. I will actually not take that dog. But,
Here you go. I thought you got two cats.
I know there's one right there.
But yeah, I've been on both sides of it. I've definitely been trying to realize too, like, there is no reason for me to be overly involved with someone when they are not showing that exact same energy. If they aren't, and it fizzles out on their end, or it fizzles out on my end, then let it be. Like, I really have been learning, like, stop doing that. Like, stop being upset by, like, the shit that, like, keeps fucking, like, happening with, like, this, oh, they fall out of love with you, and then you gotta be sad about it. It's
but
like,
then that's when feelings get hurt, and it's just not easy to, like, move on like they say it is. It's just like, oh, you just, like, you just gotta get over it, move on, you'll find someone else. It's just like, okay, but, like, I actually was, like, starting to feel that person.
Right.
Like, I was starting...
Getting comfortable.
I was starting to get comfortable.
Them.
We were starting to enjoy each other's company, and, you know, I didn't see the signs at first, like everyone else did, but...
Right.
Why is that my fault?
Right.
Like...
And like Kyle had said, I think earlier in this podcast episode, he was saying, like, you know, the love goggles. Like, we all have that, especially for someone that you are overly infatuated with. Literally, the fact that I wrote a whole song called Overly Infatuated, and it talks about all of these feelings.
Good, like, SAT word.
Right, infatuated.
Yeah.
Because it
like,
really
say it
is.
with your chest.
It's literally not love, but you are almost obsessed with this person in a way that you could see love with them.
Yes.
And it's like a whole other thing. But if you're in a situationship, evaluate what is good about it on your end. Like, what are you doing that makes them feel good? Do they respect it? Do they see that? If they don't, then evaluate what it could be without them. Could
Right.
you find something better? Could you find someone who is more energetically in line with you? Like,
And there's nothing wrong with taking your time and getting over that one person you did have a situationship with. You know, there's nothing wrong with stepping out of the spotlight and taking some time to yourself.
hell yeah.
To really gather your thoughts, collect your thoughts, and just be like, you know, I need time to myself. I need to honestly get over this person, and then maybe I will step out later.
Yeah.
Because everyone is honestly different, where it's just like, you know, I need to be with my friends to get over that person, and some people are just like, I just need to be alone. And honestly, I can safely say that I am on both parts.
Me too.
Where like I need to be with my friends, like I need a Friday night, I need to go out and we need to
tear it up,
get shit faced.
Yeah.
Or, you know, sometimes it's just like a Friday, I'm just like, you know, I need to listen to my sad girl music, and I need to listen to some like Ariana Grande's new album and just be sad.
Yeah.
Because honestly, you know, a good cry is probably what I need.
Yeah. Oh my god, we both need a great cry. I cried the other week and it felt like a great release.
Yes.
But you know,
crying is so good for you.
It's so good for you. It releases a lot of built up tension, energy. Anyway, so if you're in a situationship, try to figure that out. Not to say that I am an expert in relationships, because girl, I've had my ups and downs.
But not to say that, but when have you
those.
seen a situationship work out?
I mean, they really don't unless they take off. If they started as a friendship and they could blossom into more, there's a potential.
That's not really a situation.
It isn't, but it kind of is, but it isn't.
But
there's also polyamorous and monogamous relationships. There's polyamory, monogamy. Yeah, different relations, a whole different ballpark. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. But we're going to take a small break so that way we can recuperate our senses and synapses, because, girl, this pinkety drink is...
It's pinkety drinkety.
It's pinkening. Is it pink?
Is it ink?
And on that note, we will be right back. So we're back, and we are talking about the difference between poly and I almost said it the weirdest way ever. I almost said monogamous. I know. It's this.
Megami?
Megamind?
Oh!
So we're talking about polyamory versus monogamy. I have dipped my toe into both, I would say. From personal and professional experience, I have dipped my toe into the poly realm with people. I'm not getting into it. No. Nope. Can't pull that out. And it's a whole different category. It's a whole different world. You really do have to, you know, be into both people, I would say. I feel like for it to work, that's just for me. I'm not saying everyone is like that, okay? I'm not generalizing it, but there is, I think, a tendency to want to like both people a lot, to be into it. And if that is the case, then great. That works perfect, right? But if it doesn't and you're not feeling it, don't force it. Feel it out. Dating is hard in general, like we've talked about.
And then you add polyamorous relationships, and it makes it even more confusing. In my opinion. Makes it even more confusing.
You talk so low.
In my opinion.
But it does. It makes it extremely confusing. Because if you like one person, you're not liking the other, but you don't know what you want, then you're even more confused.
Right.
I feel like from just my experience, you know, try things out. I would never say like don't knock it. Like, actually no, I would say don't knock it till you try it, because truly that is the case.
I think that's what I haven't done. I have not stepped into polyamorous relationships because I am such a jealous person.
Me too.
I don't know.
To an extent.
I don't know how I would really act, because, like, I can be open-minded with that shit, but, like, I'm a Taurus, baby girl. Like, we are very possessive of what we like. And when I see you as my man, you're my man. Like, if anyone talks to you, I'm like, like, I'm sorry, but no.
Mm.
Like, that's not happening.
Yeah, no, I get that.
But I guess, from what I heard, polyamorous relationships are very, like, communication-based. You have to be
Communicative.
yes, with your partner. And I guess, I don't know, you just have to be open-minded with it. And I've never dabbled into it, more so because I'm afraid. You would know more than I would about it. I'm more monogamous, if anything. But that's the problem in the gay world, is that a lot of people want to be polyamorous, which there's nothing wrong with that, but what if I don't want that?
Right. And if you don't
Which I feel
want
like is
it-
why we're single. That's one of the reasons.
Yeah, it really is, because I feel like every gay, to be honest, we're going to have a whole nother episode where I'm going to dive into a book that I've read because like I said, I study psych. I'm very much into wanting to understand the development and identity of gay people. I feel like that is something that I'm interested in, but it is also something that I've read up a lot on, and there is so much behind why I think we do what we do in this, like, oh, we're wanting to have a relationship, but we also want the next best thing.
Yeah.
And it's really annoying.
It's just annoying because, like, I feel like
but
a lot
it
of
happens.
gays...
It's normal, but it's there.
It's just, like, a lot of gays... Like, if the sex is good, wouldn't you want to go back? Or, like, the chemistry is good, wouldn't you want to go back?
But I think, too, there's a thrill for a lot of gay men in the idea of nuance.
I agree.
And when it's new to them, it's more exciting. So they're like, let's do this. Okay, that's going to fill all of what I need right now.
Yes.
So instead of, oh, I'm going to commit to this person and be like, oh, I see them all the time, I do this with them, I do this with them, blah, blah, blah. They want something different and new all the time because it's exciting. You know? Like, there's a lot behind it. There's also, and like I said, different episodes. I don't want to give too much away on that. We're going to do more about that. But it is very much a different ballgame. We also are going to do a whole episode on poly versus monogamous relationships. But
just trying to, like, put our
give
toes
you an
in
idea
there,
of, like, because this truly is, like, this is the first episode where we can talk about dating, where it's like there are so many parts to it, and it's so deeply,
and it's so unresolved.
Yeah.
And it's just a mystery to, honestly, everyone.
It kind of feels like it sometimes.
Honestly, I would go to a friend, and sometimes that's not even the best decision. Just keeping your relationship between you and your partner is honestly probably the best thing to do. But
not
sometimes
always.
Getting advice, even from, like, family members you trust, or, like, a friend, or, like, your parents and stuff like that, it's just... Because better, I guess, in a sense of the word.
Yeah, you don't want to be that toxic relationship where you are giving the control to your partner to only talk about those issues with your partner.
Right.
You should be able to talk to whoever you want to about those issues, and your partner shouldn't give a fuck. If they care that much, it's because they know something that they're doing or something you're doing is wrong, and they either feel ashamed, they feel guilty by it. Like, there's all types of different reasons, but it's typically those two. That's the only thing where I'm like, sometimes it's hard to tread on certain types of relationships. You gotta be open and think about things a little bit more before you just give in and be like, oh, it's because it's exciting and entertaining. Okay, but are you going to be heartbroken later?
Exactly.
Are you going to be happy? If you are, then great, run for the happiness, but I don't know. It's difficult. But that leads into...
we don't know.
Right, but that leads into open relationships, too. There are people who have open relationships. You know, I personally don't know if I can. I think I've almost treaded into that.
Maybe
but
like a threesome. Like, even then, though.
Even then.
Because, like,
I get jealous.
Is sex.
I will get jealous.
But, like, I guess that's, like, from the bottom standpoint of things, like, it has to be another top. I'm sorry.
I personally would... If I was dating someone who was verse and because I'm a verse bottom as of now. 2024. Who knows how I'm going to feel later.
It's still April.
Yeah. It's still April. Anyway, I feel for me, if I was with someone else who was verse and we were both getting fucked by the same person, I would be upset. And I don't know why, but I feel like it has to be two bottoms for me if I was going to talk.
I would honestly like to know the comments from people.
But if I wasn't in a relationship, with someone and it was just a random threesome or whatever, two tops.
Yes.
And I'm the bottom.
1,000%.
Completely different dynamic, but that happens to be, like, I think a lot of people's mindset, too. Your dynamic in what you think, what you want, and what you're going to go do are completely different.
Yep.
And I think some people, it switches up. There's times where I want to be super passive, and I want to be submissive as fuck.
Sometimes I want to top.
Right. And sometimes I want to be dominant as shit.
Yeah.
So there's completely different parts of that.
Yeah.
But open relationships, to me, I just don't think I can do it. I've thought about it, but
I've honestly thought about
know.
it too. I don't know if I could do it. I don't know. I don't
want
want
to
to
say
say
that's real love. I just don't think that's real love.
I don't want to say
I
don't think I could do it because I don't know if I could do it because I've never tried it.
Yeah, I've never tried it.
You never
either.
know. I could try it and I could fucking love it. I could be like, bitch, I get to fuck a new guy every week. Or I could be like, bitch, I don't want that.
Right. It kind of feels like that's how it feels right now for me.
Mm-hmm.
In a weird way. But it's not been talked on.
I think it should be talked on. That's another episode.
Yeah. Anyway, open relationships or something. But
we're still trying to figure it out. If anyone in the comments has any experiences,
please
talk
about it. Let us know. I want to
talk about it.
You can literally send us an entire fucking, like, I don't know, excerpt on, like, all of what it is.
We'll take voice memos.
We will literally listen and be like, ooh, and talk about it because we want to know. We also want, like, experiences from people to be like, you know, if you want, you can even, like, code out your name. You don't even have to fucking, like, tell us your name. Just be like,
my name is Simon.
It'd be great. We can just talk
Gary.
on it. Anything.
Simba.
0.
Luna.
It's a 0. I thought 11.
What?
I was like, 11 from Stranger Things. And then I was like 0.
The bar in Miami?
No.
Oh.
You're
Anyway.
talking about below 0 or whatever, Sub-Zero? I don't know.
No, it's 11 is a strip club in Miami.
Oh.
It's like world
I thought it was
famous.
below 0. Anyway. But relationships are very tricky. They are very much a thing I think that we are trying to better understand as a collective for the gay groups. You know, like, even lesbian relationships are different and tricky. I have so many lesbian friends where we talk and I see all of their relationships and I'm like, y'all's dynamic is completely different.
So different.
It's completely different.
So different.
And
how they look on everything is so different.
But it's so interesting because I'm like, I want to know why it's like.
I would
so
love to get one of your friends on here and just dabble in on that.
I know it's actually very thought provoking because it's like they also have different terminology.
Like, why is the mindset so different? Is it because from the male standard to the female standard, or
I don't know. I think also there's probably many
testosterone
things.
versus estrogen, like.
But they also, I don't know. That's a whole nother episode. We have way too many episodes to think of.
I know we got years worth of content,
but
we gonna fight.
Yeah. I think the last thing we kind of want to talk a little bit about before we end up going is what things can sometimes look like with a relationship ending. Sometimes.
The signs.
Because, you know, we talked a bit about how hard it is, but also there are good things that come from it. But this, particularly, this podcast episode, I think we wanted to focus on, like, some of the things that are more pressing and, like, wow. So when some people leave, I feel like they either, one, become avoidant, like I talked about earlier.
A big one.
Yep. They become less texting. Like, they text less. They communicate
Communication
less.
is not there.
Not there at all. They kind of just almost put you on a back burner.
Yeah.
And you can sense it. It's almost like a shift in the energy.
Yes.
There's a shift in the way
vibes.
there's a complete
vibes,
shift
in the energy.
And it's like they want to pretend it's not there. Like, I've had this just happen to me where someone's like, oh, like, my shit was, like, fucked up. I'm like, no, girl, I've sensed this for, like, weeks.
Right.
Like, you're dumb for thinking that I'm going to sit
When
there
you
and think
see
that
those
you're
signs,
telling me the honest truth.
See those signs. Do not ignore them.
Also, too, I'm like, if you're talking to gays, I'm going to be honest, if they're older, they've been there, done that with that whole experience thing about what you're doing or trying to do. So, like, just be honest and forward. It is so simple to just say, hey, I'm not feeling you, or hey, I really like you. And there's a huge difference on what you do after that.
There's many factors that can fall into that, too. It's like, I'm just not feeling you. And there's nothing wrong with that.
There
There's really
isn't.
nothing wrong with that.
I'd rather be told straight up than to be led on.
I would rather be honest about it.
1000%.
And there's nothing wrong with being like...
I'd be like, okay,
that
cool.
saying where it's like, right person, wrong time.
Yeah.
I really, truly do believe in that saying because I know that is such a controversial saying. And some people don't believe in that. They're like, if it was the right person, they would be with you. And I personally do not believe that. I personally think...
some people are not ready for that
right
moment.
person, wrong time. Maybe that person is so focused in on their career. Maybe that person is going through a lot of family stuff.
Yeah.
You never know.
1000%.
If you give it... sometimes... I was watching Schitt's Creek the other day. And the mom was talking about how she got with the dad. And she was a little drunk. But she was talking to her daughter about it. She's like, it took a year for me to get your dad. It took a full year. And honestly, that, like, pretty resonated with me, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe not saying that this is true because I don't really believe in getting back with your ex, but you never know.
You never know. Yeah, you never know. Some people leave the door open in a way. Some people cut you off in a way that is, like, they clearly don't want you because they want other things. Like, some people just want sex. Some people literally just want sex.
But communicate it.
Communicate that that's what you're after right now. Don't communicate that you want a fucking relationship, but that you're open to a relationship when you are not. Like, don't lie about it. It's, like, so stupid.
Irritating.
Very irritating. It's just, like, come on. Like, I don't want to be played games with. I am 24 years old now. There is like, in my mind, I would like to be, in a sense, trying to settle down by 35. I got, 11 years?
I was like, you got 11 years.
But still,
I got 8.
Okay, but it still feels like, over that time, I should have spent at least a year or two trying to get to really understand this person and really feel that flow.
Right.
But if we spent all this time, or we spend all this time fucking, like, doing this cycle shit all over again, where, like, oh, you find someone cute, you fuck around, you find out, and then you fucking go right back around, find another person that you think is cute, and then you go right back fucking around. It's a cycle, and it's so fucking annoying.
Irritating.
Like, I'm tired of it. Like, it really does make me want to cut off that part of relations. But
altogether,
it's like, if we're all experiencing it, why can't we just fucking talk about it? I'm tired of, like, the beating around the bush, like, I don't know.
The gist of this episode is communication is key.
And relationships are fucking difficult. But they're possible.
Yes. Difficult, but possible.
And we hope...
And you have to be patient.
Yeah, patient.
You have to be patient.
Optimistic.
Patience is key.
Build a real relation with that person. A friendship before you start building this deeply passionate thing where you just met this person 2 weeks ago. Like... You don't really know that person. You don't even really know how they are.
And there's nothing wrong with sex on the first date if the chemistry is there. If the chemistry is not there, then don't do it.
But if you
talk about it.
But if you feel like there's going to be a pull away, if you feel like that's all they're after, test the water.
I would listen to that.
Listen to your gut. Your intuition is going to tell you so much. I feel like every fucking relationship I've been in, I have definitely heard my gut saying all these things. I even communicate some of those thoughts to you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, I'm not tripping. Like, I'm actually dead ass. Like, I think I'm right.
Yeah.
And then lo and behold, a week or two later, I find out the
truth
exact
always
truth.
Comes out.
And it's exactly what I said. I'm like, girl, I knew this. And I kind of mentally prepared, but it still sucks.
Yeah.
So, but at the end of the day, we know things are good. Look, good things are coming. Good people are coming. Good relations are coming.
We just gotta be
for
patient.
Everybody. So if you're out there thinking that there is nothing for you and you're thinking in a very scarcity mindset, just know things are going to work out. The person that is going to be there for you is going to make things work. They're going to try. They're going to show effort. They're going to show affection. And they're going to communicate. And if they can't do any of that, then you need to reevaluate some of those thoughts. Just a bit.
Yeah.
Think about what's important to you and what you are willing to sacrifice and what you're not.
Communicate those thoughts to that person, and if it doesn't get better,
then you know.
You need to...
Don't just cut them off because that one thing...
Right. We all have our flaws. There's nothing wrong with communicating, hey, I noticed this,
right.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
And if they're mature enough, they'll be like, oh, shit, I didn't even put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
But, you know, some people aren't like that. And that's when you gotta...
Yeah, truly, you
on
gotta...
to the next.
Yeah. It's crazy how that's like, yeah. But it is the truth. So on that note, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you are new, please subscribe or please follow whatever you're listening on. Give us a rating. Give us a comment if there's a Q&A at the bottom of the about
Send us
area.
your stories.
Please, because it's going to be a fulfilling moment to be able to have like people's comments or things like that. Even just not even that, like
just a comment.
A communication. A single thing. Communication is key.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. A like.
But we hope you guys really enjoyed, and we can't wait for you guys to join us on the next episode. We're gonna have a lot to spill.
Let's talk about it. Period.
What's the most cringy?
I feel like it's not, because we need a catchphrase, and I feel like "let's talk about it" is that she's
the
that
way
bitch.
The way you deliver though, you're like, "Let's talk about it." He's like, "Let's talk about it."
Let's talk about it.
And let's talk about it. That's what
Let's talk about it.